great help to you, either as a parent and mainly also as a teenager. With me, I have my friends who have been doing these conversations with, and I want to give them an opportunity to say hi to you and introduce themselves. Welcome.
Thank you, Chapel. Hello, viewers. Welcome to the Pathfinders show. My names are Steven Kihara. Just want to welcome you to our Pathfinders show. Allow me nisalimie watu watatu, our Reverend and his family, Nick at home, and my parents back at home. Stay tuned and welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Bonita Wanjao. I'd like to welcome you to our show. Shout out to my dad, mom and sis. Stay tuned.
Good evening, our viewers. My name is Jocelyn Kawira. I'm a teacher by profession. I'm also a mentor for the young people. And I welcome all of you to this show, the teenagers and also the parents and teachers, as we learn how to bring up our young people. Welcome.
Thank you so much for that brief introduction. So you can also be part of this conversation wherever you are viewing us from, either you are over the Facebook platform or the YouTube channel. You can send your question, you can leave your comment there. I'll be able to read a few of them because without you, we cannot have this conversation being complete. So today, even as I also encourage you to share the Facebook, your page with your friends, that we may have as many people on board. So today, the topic we would like to discuss and have a conversation on is on the issue of teenage and social media. The impact that these social media platforms, the social media issue has on our teenagers as they develop, because it is something that we cannot just ignore. It's here with us. We have to come up with ways of how do we manage the social media question, if I may call it that way, because it's like a necessary evil. In as much as there are so many benefits that we get when we use these social media platforms, there are also some other challenges that are coming up. And if we are not addressed, we may find that it may mislead many teenagers, as it has already done. But even if there are so many challenges involved, there are other benefits that we can learn and we can earn from using these social media platforms. So join the conversation, as I've said, through the comments that you leave on our Facebook page. Any question you have concerning the issue of social media, the usage, you are welcome to do so. Now, just to give a brief introduction, because there are so many definitions of social media, but I want just to read a very brief explanation of what social media is any digital tool that allows users quickly create and share content with the public. So there must be involvement of a digital tool, either a phone, a tablet, a computer, or desktop or laptop, and then involve a number of users. And these users, they are creating and sharing content. And this content can be either information, it can be ideas, it can be career interest, or any other form of expression. So they are bringing people together, and you can do it wherever you are, and you share information, you share ideas, you share photos, and they are having a conversation and involving a number of people. So that's just a brief description of what social media is. Now, as we know them, there are quite a number of social media platforms. And so at this point, as we discuss the topic and the topic unwinds, I believe you'll be able to have a clearer understanding of what social media is and its impact on the life and the development of our teenagers. So at this point, I want to engage our teenagers who are representing so many out there, because I say when they sit here, they speak on their behalf of their friends. Maybe I would like them to help us understand whether you are on any social media platform. Steve, let me start with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Examples of which one?
Okay, like WhatsApp,
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Hizo.
Such things. Bonita, are you on any social media platform?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Example of some of those.
WhatsApp,
Yes.
Facebook.
Yes, you're on
Twitter.
those. So which others do you know? Because maybe I think those are the common ones, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Which others are out there that maybe you have not yet logged into? Do you have know of any other?
Instagram.
Yes. Steve, do you have any other social media platform that is out there?
Kuna zenye zimetokea mpya. Kuna ka like,
Yes.
TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's true. Because I think the common ones, they are the Facebook, the WhatsApp, the Instagram, the Twitter, but now we have TikTok that is coming up. We have Snapchat, we have LinkedIn, we have WeChat, we have YouTube. All those are, so maybe for the parents, there are those who may mainly know when they hear social media, they only think about Facebook and WhatsApp. There are others that you find even the teenagers, they even know. Some of them, maybe if you are parents, can you try to engage your child and find out which other platforms that maybe he or she has logged in and maybe you don't even have an idea about. Now, if I want to bring again Steve, like given a chance and uko na simu yako iko na bundles vizuri,
Yeah.
and you have a friend, maybe you can sit somewhere and just talk. So would you prefer maybe spending time more chatting with friends, or would you prefer to spend your time mukichat one-on-one, face to face?
Wajua hii ingine ya social media.
Yes.
Si venye unaweza ongea na mtu mmoja. Hapo unaweza ongea na watu zaidi ya 10.
Yes.
Unaongea na watu at the same time wote. Lakini huyu mmoja unajua huwezi mpea attention, upea huyu.
Yeah.
Lakini kwa simu unawapea wote attention.
Wote 10 lakini unawapea attention.
Hadi kwa group unaweza pata kuna group iko na watu 400.
Yes.
Na wote mna chat hapo hivyo.
So given a chance, you prefer maybe kukua tu kwa chat. Chat room, having like 5-10 people, more than maybe you spend maybe having a face-to-face conversation.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for that honest contribution. Bonita, tusikie kutoka kwako.
Hata mimi na prefer chatting
Chatting.
with friends.
Yes. So wakati kasimu kamejaa bado, sasa hapo uko sawa.
Unajua hata sisi pia tuko na group ya classmates.
Yes.
So we interact more.
Kwa hizo groups than even you may spend most time with your friends chatting face to face.
Si rahisi kupatana na friends wako at this time. Si
Yeah.
rahisi.
So thank you so much for that contribution. Now, Teacher Jocelyn, I think you've heard what good teenagers they have shared. Now, they prefer most of the time spending time chatting with friends, and most of the time is texting. You prefer. So how? And we said in our previous conversations that this age, it is where most of the developmental changes are taking place. So they are developing both as a human being. So how would that affect the development of their communication skills, having in mind now they are social beings? So how would that affect those skills, the development of those skills, both social skills and maybe communication skills?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Teacher Paul, for that. And I thank you, Steve and Bonita, for your good contribution and sincere comments and saying the truth. Teacher Paul, if I may come back to your question.
Yes.
you are asking how can spending too much time
Yes.
on phone,
Yes.
chatting
Alone.
alone.
You're chatting alone.
Yes.
And they prefer maybe chatting when you are alone.
Yeah.
Rather than they would
Yeah.
spend time
Yeah.
having like a face one-on-one conversation.
One-on-one, yes. And especially now,
Yes.
you've had Bonita saying for now it's not easy to get physical friends.
Yes.
So as we even look at the stage they are in,
Yes.
we also have to look at the circumstances we are going through at this COVID-19 period. Socially, young people, the teenagers,
Yes.
they are supposed to be developing physical connections. But it is not very easy, even under normal circumstances.
Yes.
Leave alone now this COVID-19 time.
Yes.
Under normal circumstances, they don't want to be seen outside, and they don't want to be in the cloud, especially with the people whom they are strangers with.
Yes.
They prefer being alone. I remember in one of the episodes there before, I
Yes.
mentioned to you that teenagers are those people who will be not willing even to accompany the parent for family functions.
That's true.
Because they just want to be alone.
Yeah.
And as we have said, it's because of the developmental stage they are in. They have started being conscious
Yes.
of the environment. It's not like that little girl, little boy, who would do anything.
Yes.
And they never got worried. As long as mama said, go and do this,
Yes.
they are not conscious of what is around them. Now teenagers have started being conscious of what is happening around them. On top of that, we said there are so many things that are happening in their bodies. Those many changes, sometimes they think everybody knows about the feelings they are going through. So they want to be in private, whereby nobody is seeing them. So when you look at a teenager, and the teenager is going through some emotional things in the body, they think you can see them, the things.
Yes.
They just think you can see them. So they want to spend so much time in private. Now, if now they spend so much time chatting with the invisible friends,
Yes.
they'll be very comfortable because this friend is not seeing them.
Yes.
And they can see 200. As Steve has said, a group can have over 200.
Yes.
So they can chat with the 200 invisible people. That is 400 eyes, not
Yes.
looking at him. But he can now say anything
Yes.
because nobody is looking at him. But he's in a cloud and they're exchanging many things.
Yeah.
Now, this can impact negatively on their life after.
Yes.
Because Steve will develop a lot of confidence
Yes.
of saying things to the invisible people.
Yes.
But the minute these people now becomes real, he finds himself maybe in class,
Yeah.
and he's told to stand before the 40 boys to give a comment.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of struggle for him.
Yes.
Because now the 8 eyes looking at him, he has never been used to that.
Yes.
It's a big challenge for him. So it can have negative impact on his social life.
Yes.
It can also affect his communication. Because in the group, he can say anything.
Yes.
People can comment.
Yes.
And when they start commenting negatively on his post, he can go away. He can even left the group. Some will just, when others are commenting negatively on what they have said, I don't know whether it is true. Steve, do people leave or they stay?
I don't know, Nico left, two and left.
They just left. So they know that it's easier. When people don't accept me, I simply left. But now in class, you will not just walk out of class.
Yes.
The teacher is in class.
Yes.
This is a school. You can't walk out of the gate alone.
Yes.
You can't walk out of the gate anyhow. There's a watchman. So this can affect on his life in a very negative way.
Yes, true.
Because he has not learned how to communicate back when people do not accept his ideas. The only way he knows is that if you don't like me,
Yes.
I can left you and join another group.
Yes.
I can left you and form my other group with people who understand me.
Yes.
So he's not able to cope with the challenges, and it can affect them, including now the other form of communication. Here, it's about just typing. He's not developing his vocals. So he doesn't even know how to raise his voice.
Yes.
He doesn't know how to be audible because it's a matter of just talking. So you don't go to class the next time and the teacher will ask a question
Yes.
and Steve cannot open up his vocals to talk to the teacher. So it can affect.
Yes.
Even the language they use when they are chatting, it's not the official language.
Yes.
And it can affect his language in future, which can even, you find some students being expelled from school. They are saying they talked rudely to the prefect,
Yes.
they retorted to the teacher, they fought back to the others, they abused somebody, but it's not that they are purposed.
Yes.
It's what they are used to online, and nobody punishes them.
That's
But now when it comes to the physical, they don't know there is a difference of what they do online and what happens in the physical world. So it can affect them in a bad way.
Yeah. So
Yes.
thank you so much for that. Oh, so the issue of especially maybe if let me first of all ask Steve. Maybe you need to learn much from what they do. So if you want to have a conversation maybe with your friends, so do you prefer calling or texting?
Texting.
Yeah, texting, that is what you prefer most.
Yeah.
Is it the same case with Bonita?
I prefer texting.
So you also prefer texting. So there is that issue of now we are getting much used to texting. So how maybe we also expect them maybe to be leaders in future, and they will be required to communicate information. So how is that now, that habit of getting so much used to texting instead of now speech? So there's something you have talked about, maybe developing even the audio skills, how to pass that information. So can that, psychologically, how can that affect them?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. When someone gets used to one form of communication, adjusting to another one,
Yes.
it's another process. And it can impact negatively in a very big way.
That's true.
Let me start with something very simple. Even if they don't become a manager or a CEO in a company or a principal in a school or a man or whatever, they don't have to be, they are not even handling a big group of people whereby their communication skills can be affected.
Yes.
Let's take a simple setup of a husband and wife. If Bonita finds it very easy to text, it will be no wonder to find Bonita finding it easier to text the husband than communicate. So she will find it very easy to text him when he's away instead of when he's near. But when he comes, she will miss once. Because even this relationship is going to start through the phone. So everything will be through the phone. She learned to communicate with the friends through the phone. She has met this friend through the phone. Courtship has been through the phone. It's not like us, courtship was physical. Courtship can be through the phone up to the day of wedding. Now they are living together in the house. It's a big issue. It can affect that communication. I'm just thinking a simple way. Leave alone now a CEO who cannot face the other workers and pass a message. Just in a family setup, it can affect. So spending too much time online, it has lifetime implications. And it has a big negative impact to the future generation. Because you might find somebody who, even the children, they would rather send them a message than talk. Right now we have children. I don't know, maybe I'll ask Bonita. If I was to give you a choice of asking mom for something, which one do you find more easier? is it sending a text or sitting with her and ask her you talk?
To me,
Mm.
maybe sending a text.
Sending a text is easier.
Mm.
Why do you think it's easier?
Saves time. Juu ataiona tu.
Ataiona too. Okay, and suppose she was in the house.
Kama ako home,
Eh,
si unaongea tu na yeye inaisha.
inaisha. Inaisha. So sending the text is because of distance, or because you find it more easier to communicate. It doesn't bring so much emotional challenges. What challenges you most? Like now you want her to buy you some shoes or some dress, or to get you some money to go to the salon. Which one would you have more energy? Yeah, which would require so much of your energy to use? Is it the phone or the verbal communication?
Verbal communication.
Will require more energy. Why?
Juu sasa atajifanya, atasema hajaipata hiyo text. Juu
Okay.
anaweza peana reasons kuiona na labda hata ni kweli kuiona.
Okay.
Sasa mkiongea,
Mm.
just say it's on a personal level.
Yeah.
So mtaelewana na yeye, mwambie the pros and cons.
Okay. Okay. Good. So that's what I wanted to hear. There are some who will tell you, "I fear
Yes.
telling mom something, so I'd rather wait."
Yes.
She leaves the house,
Yes.
then I text after she has left.
Yeah.
It is easier that way than telling her. Some will tell you, when you tell her, she'll shout back. When you tell her, she'll pretend she has not turned.
Yeah.
When you tell her, she'll raise some other issues we had before. So there's that story we had before, and I don't want her to revisit.
Yes.
So the minute I tell her, she'll revisit very many other issues.
Yeah.
So I would rather text, and because she's away, when she comes, I'll go to the bedroom, and we shall not talk.
Yeah.
So it's a way to camouflage
Yeah.
from reality. And I think we need to balance,
Yes,
so that we can develop in all aspects of life.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you so much. I believe in even the issue of now communication. There is the other part of not just the nonverbal cues, the nonverbal communication. That when you are engaging maybe a person one-on-one, you realize there are issues to do with, like, you can even understand now the facial expressions. You can understand something about the body language. And maybe if we continue now with this maybe habit of texting all the time, there are some of those that we may not be able to develop, that we need to understand even at this age as teenagers, that there's more than just words. There's the way that you can look at someone's face and you see now the response. Now it will tell you whether this person agrees or disagrees with what you are saying, and even the impact of what you are said this part. Because like if you are just texting, you may say something that is hurting to that other person. But because you are alone, you don't know the effect your words will have on the other end. But now when it is also good, even as we continue texting, it is good that we develop the face-to-face communication skills. So thank you so much for those contributions. Now, Steve, now allow me to understand, now when you are like in your room and you are revising, na uko pale peke yako una revise,
Yeah.
I can see you have a phone. So simu yako inakuanga wapi?
Beside.
Iko tu hapa karibu na
Hapo
wewe.
kando tu.
Hapa kando tu.
Eh.
So kuna vile unaguza ka kitabu kidogo, ka text kidogo. So kuna ile multitasking inafanyika pale.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Bonita. Naona pia uko na simu.
Sasa sisi kwetu tukianza kustudy,
Yes.
labda unaenda bedroom,
Yes.
unaacha simu sitting. Ukienda kustudy mama unasema
Yes.
hebu acha hiyo simu hapa.
So hapo it's like kuna ka place kametengwa, ukipita hapa hakuna simu. Okay, lakini given a chance, tuseme hajakwambia hivyo, uge prefer aje?
Ningeenda tu nayo.
Ikue tu hapa. Wow, so thank you so much for that. Now, Teacher Jocelyn, I think we have very honest teenagers with us here.
Yes.
Now, there is that issue of now they are students, and we have been saying in this program that they are fast students. Even when they are planning their day, much of their time is supposed to be dedicated to things to do with academics. So now here they are studying, and then there's kuna simu hapa, and kama simu hapo na iko na two bundles, ka WhatsApp kako on, si ndio? So how does that affect their concentration? And is that issue of multitasking really possible?
Okay, let me start by saying,
Yes.
for multitasking
Yes.
among the young people, it is impossible.
Yeah.
And I'll stress that one.
Yes, yes.
It is impossible. They'll tell you, I am reading, but for sure, maybe I'll ask Steve.
Yes.
Suppose you have that phone, and you are doing some calculations there, some algebraic expressions, and it's not creaking. And then your friends start chatting. Sincerely, what would you concentrate on?
Text.
You'd rather go and text.
Yeah.
Because these young people, they have not developed that stamina to persevere.
Yes.
I mean, they are still at that transition. And we said this is a very delicate stage.
That's true.
Very delicate indeed. And it's a place where people can get lost. And what matters mostly to the young people is that which causes some happiness. You know, some thrill. They feel good about it.
Yes.
If it's not feeling good about it, it would rather stay.
Yes.
And telling Steve to do some algebraic equations, which is unsolvable,
Yes.
looking for that x, teachers are always telling them to look for an x, which is never found.
Yeah.
It has never been found. And you tell him now to find. And then a text just comes in.
Yes.
And then you are telling him, now you forget the text and continue looking for this x.
Yeah.
Steve says he would rather chat.
Yeah.
It's more fulfilling.
Yes.
Yeah, so multitasking is not.
Yeah.
So when we talk about these young people spending more time on the phone, it can impact so much even on the academics. Because concentration levels of what is most important for them will go down, and they will concentrate on what is causing happiness. And in life, not anything that is causing happiness which is good. I mentioned in our last session that eating a cake is sweet.
Yes.
But the implications, the outcome of the cake and the sweet is worse, because it can end up having all your teeth removed. I said that swallowing chloroquine or during an injection is not sweet.
Yes.
But after you do it, you get healed. So, I mean, some things are not sweet, but sometimes that thing which is bitter is the one which is going to make you better.
Yes.
And for the young people, they are thinking, I told you the other day, they are the developmental stage of their brain about making decisions. That part which makes the decision is just starting to develop at 13. And it will be fully developed at around 22 years.
Yeah.
So they cannot make informed judgments. They cannot make informed decisions. So the decisions are based on feelings.
Yes.
And the feelings are that which is making them happy. So that concentration to academics, I can tell you, it will not be 100%. It will not. It cannot be at the top. Academics or anything else will go down. Leave them even in the house and tell them to wash the dishes and clean the house and clean their room. And they know you will come back at 5. Make a mistake of being in the house at 3. And you meet it has not been done because they have been procrastinating. They have been postponing this other thing of cleaning because it's not fun. So there are times a minute to 5 and they are like, I hope niombe kuna jamu. Asifike mapema. Akute imekauka. Juu nyumba imeoshwa 4:45. Ili juu ameshinda the whole day on what was causing them happiness. So concentration on anything, academics, other important activities will go down. And imagine even a driver is not supposed to use the phone when they are on the road, because they are supposed to concentrate on what is on the road. Yeah. So what do you expect of a young person to concentrate on academics
Yes.
when the phone is there?
It's not possible.
Yes.
So the issue of multitasking is out. You keep
For the
on
young
shifting
people.
from one task to the other.
Yes.
And now, the other day we were talking about, you discussed about the memory and the retention of what they are learning. So how will that have maybe an impact in their memory, on the what they retain as they are doing their revision?
When they spend so much time on the phone, what happens is that by the time they go to bed,
Yes.
the brain will be saturated by the social media things. I said the other day that the human brain has two parts. It has what we call the temporary memory and the permanent memory, or short-term memory and the permanent memory. Anything we go through from morning to evening, scientifically it goes to the short-term memory.
Yeah.
And their information can stay for a maximum of 10, 12, ikikaa sana 15 hours. After that, it just disappears. That's why you find sometimes you did something.
Yes.
There are things you do on a routine basis.
Yes.
You don't remember, but you had thought about it before you did.
Yes.
For example, what you wore the other Sunday, you had thought about it, what will I wear,
Yes.
and you prepared yourself, but it was not something worth thinking over for a long time. So after you rest, you forgot about it. So if I ask you, what were you wearing the other Sunday, you will not remember.
That's true.
Because it had just disappeared. It was in your short-term memory,
Yes.
but it had disappeared.
Yes.
But if there's a project you are working on 2 months ago, and you have been thinking about it, even now,
Yes.
you can tell me from which day you started.
Yes.
Because from that day you started thinking about it, you kept on thinking about it over and over, and it is stuck in your short-term memory.
Yes.
Now, scientifically, the two parts of the brain do not work together. The short-term memory works when you are actively awake. Anytime, as long as you are not asleep, that is when the short-term memory works. Then when you sleep is when information transfers
Yes.
from the short-term memory to long-term memory.
Yes.
But it doesn't happen automatically.
Yes.
You must think about it, especially a few minutes before you sleep, so that now when you sleep, that information will be going to the long-term memory.
Yes.
Now, let's go now to the case of the students. This student has been on social media the whole day.
Yes.
Maybe in between, they opened a book and they read some concepts.
Yes.
And because it was mom, Bonita had been told,